Pleased to be joined on this edition of Talking Preps by Casey Dick, the head football coach at Fayetteville High School. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Blair?
Doing good, Casey. How was the first week in pads? What was that like?
Oh, it was great. I think our kids came out. Obviously, everybody was really excited to get back to some sort of normalcy for football. But I think the kids embraced it. They came out, competed well. We got better as the week went on. Obviously, still got some things and some kinks that we need to work out. But we like the progress we made over the first week.
What was different now with all the protocols in place, or was there anything different with that first week in pads?
I think there's a lot different as far as everything that you're having to abide by, practice structure and things like that, just to make sure you're obviously following the guidelines and protocols that have been put in place by the Department of Health. But as far as the actual football part and getting to be around kids and making sure that we're doing the right things, none of that's changed. It's just the overall structure of how we get there. But once we obviously get there and start practicing it, pretty much everything else takes over. But we got to be cognizant of all the rules and regulations, why everything else is not going on.
We're getting close to hopefully the start of the season if everything goes as planned. You've got several starters to replace, including a quarterback. How is that progressing, and has the pandemic affected that in any way?
It's been good. Obviously, from a lot of different aspects. The pandemic has affected us, but one thing that I think it's allowed everybody to do is focus a lot on fundamentals over Zoom calls and some of those things that we were able to accomplish while we were sitting at home, just in order to make everybody more comfortable with what their job is. So that's one of the ways that we used it, kind of doing advantage, just like everybody else, I'm sure. But those guys, they've all come out and approached practice every single day. They've gotten better. They've gotten a better grasp for what we want to do, the type of team we want to be. So we're like where we're at with those guys, and we'll put one out there that's going to represent us, in, or maybe a couple of them, in a very well in a positive manner.
You got a scrimmage coming up on Friday against Greenwood. What are you hoping to get out of that? What are you looking for? Obviously, it's the lone tune-up before the season opener.
Just hoping to go out and play good football. Obviously, there's you taking the time and everything that you've had. Is not everything's going to get accomplished, but like I said, we like where we're at. We like where we're at as our team. We like our identity and the things that we've been able to accomplish. So we just want to go out and obviously we want to play somebody else, but we want to go out and just play good football. We want to be fast, and we know there's going to be some things that we're going to have to get corrected. But fast and effort is one of the things that we've been preaching to our kids this whole time. So if we do those things, we think we'll be in good shape. When we know we're going to go play a good Greenwood team, and Coach Young will have those guys ready to roll. So we'll be excited and ready to go on Thursday.
Obviously, trying to get your team ready for that. Then also there's going to be all the social distancing and everything on the sideline. How much more time does that take to make sure all that is in place?
We just have to make sure that we have everything squared away as far as our kids knowing our expectations and what needs to happen, obviously, while they're standing on the sideline and when they're not in a ball game. So you look at all the things that the NFHS has put into place and the guidelines from the Department of Health and the governor's office. So there's obviously some planning and some things that have to be put into place. But I think it's like anything else. Once the kids once they experience those and they figure out where they need to be, what they need to be doing, they'll do a good job with it, just like they have since June 1st with all the protocols and everything have been put in place there.
And obviously, you've got a support staff and people above you who've helped adjust all this pandemic. How important has their role been in allowing you to work on what you need to do and having those people take care of the other things so you don't have to worry about that?
Oh, our athletic director, Coach Jansky, and assistant athletic director Liz Cottle, even our athletic cabinet, and from our principal, Dr. Dossel, they've been awesome as far as just being able to relay us information, give us the proper guidelines and procedures, and obviously things that we need to abide by. But and then they've done their part as far as, okay, how can we make this even more safe for our kids, even more safe, for our stakeholders and everybody else that want to get that game, experience that they're used to, but being able to offer them a safe environment. So they've done an unbelievable job of prepping it and getting us to where we're at now. So now we got to go out and, have fun, but also make it an experience that's going to be safe for everybody to attend.
Speaking of safe, is it fair to say that maybe one of the safest places for the kids to be right now is in an athletic facility because all the protocols that are in place to protect them?
I certainly think so from, the standpoint of all the things that we would have to abide by. Now, obviously, there's going to be people that have a different opinion, that have different viewpoints, and that's okay. But when they're here, it's kind of like I told our principal and everybody else, we can control them from the things that they're going to do, the things that they have to, wear a mask and social distance and do those things. So I think you look around other universities, the campuses, the high schools, other aspects like that. Once those kids get there, they arrive there, they're staying there, and they're doing, following those guidelines and everything. I think it's a positive situation for everybody to be a part of.
Last question. What's been the biggest adjustment you've had to make in terms of just organization or coaching? What's been the biggest adjustment to get to this point where we're now just a little over 2 weeks away from the season opener?
Just making sure you're on top of the guidelines and the procedures that's been put forth by the Department of Health. I feel like I walk around and say spread out, or cover your mouth or wear your mask, or do that. So 100 million times a day, but that's part of it. That's where we got to get to. And part of the reason why we're at where we're at now is because the coaches across the state have done a great job of implementing those procedures, giving our kids a chance to play. So I think if you look at it from that aspect, and what we've been able to accomplish and how we've been able to accomplish it and make it safe for kids to be out here. And then you look at the overall attendance that, whether you take schools in Northwest Arkansas or across the entire state, the summer attendance amid all of this that's been happening has been unbelievable. We probably had close to 98% of all of our kids attend. So it's been a great experience. Obviously, it's been a little bit stressful from the things that we've learned in a short amount of time about everything and what we're going to have to do. But it's been a good experience, been good back to see the kids, and we're just looking forward to the season and how it's all going to turn out.
Yeah, it's exciting to know that it's almost here, but of course it's so close. You don't want to make sure everybody doesn't let up, because we want to keep moving forward and having football this fall.
Yes, sir. You're exactly right.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for the time. We look forward to talking to you soon, and good luck Friday night.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Blair.
Thank you, Casey.